for everything Cardinals. Arizona sports, the local sports leader. This is In the Red Zone with Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon. Presented by Earnhardt Hyundai and Ford dealers. Shop local, shop Earnhardt. No bull since 1951.
3 o'clock. Every Big Red Monday, we talk with the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. He joins us here on the Arizona Sports Line, coming off a loss yesterday to the New York Giants at State Farm Stadium. Coach, good afternoon. Happy Monday to you, man. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm excellent. How you guys doing?
Good, Coach. Tough game yesterday, right off the bat. I thought that first half, you guys, I thought you outclassed them. I thought you outworked them. I thought you out-executed them. You had to feel really good about the way you went into halftime with the way your team was playing.
Yeah, we did a good job in the first half, but that's why you got to play 4 quarters.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of let a big lead slip away there and got outplayed in the second half, got out-coached in the second half. So we got to get back to the drawing board, make the corrections, and learn from it, and put a 4-quarter game together. We think we're going to win. So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we told the team today, and we got in, made the corrections, learned from it, and ready to start the new week here.
Yeah, I like you taking responsibility, right? I think that's important too. I mean, there's a lot that went into that football game, but no matter what, you're up 21-0, you're up you're up by 28-8. You got to win that football game, up 28-7 in the third quarter. You guys weren't able to get it done. A lot of factors as to why. But what was the main message to the team after the game was over?
Yeah, we just got to coach and play better. I mean, I think they out-executed us in the second half, and that was, evident by it was 31-8 in the second half. That was the score. And we lost, obviously 31-28. But, different, all 3 phases go into that. Coaching goes into that. And we make a few more plays there, and we win the ball game. So that's what we were concentrated on today, and they were good about it and had a good positive attitude, and we got to get those things corrected so we can give ourselves a chance to win.
Jonathan Gannon, our guest here on the Burns Gambo show. I want to go back to something Gambo brought up a second ago about after the game yesterday, you really taking responsibility for it, saying if you look back on it, what would you have done differently? What would you have liked to have done differently about that game in that second half to maybe stem the tide of that a little bit?
Yeah, just I think, how the way that they got back in the game, you can't have that happen. So I think that just from my standpoint, just helping out all 3 play callers with what needs to get done, what needs to get accomplished, our players knowing that. I could have done a better job with that. So, we gave up, I think, 10 explosives in the second half, and they scored quickly a couple times, which got them back into the game. So we just got to do a better job with that, and we'll clean it up and improve from it.
From your perspective, how much of the inevitable sort of human nature when you're up 20-0, when you're up 28-7 with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, how much how much does that factor in?
Yeah, we talked about with our team today, and we've talked about that kind of in the off season. Like, momentum is kind of a narrative that people talk about. To me, it comes down to execution. If you execute and do the right thing and make good decisions, play with the proper technique, and make plays, that's how you gain momentum. So they just made more plays than we did, honestly. And, to swing the game back in our favor, we had to execute a little bit better. So that's what we were concentrating on today.
Yeah, no, I think that the big plays absolutely in that second half. They had 14 plays of 10 or more yards in the first half. They only had 3. Sometimes we look at one play and we say, okay, this could be where the momentum changed. That first play, that bomb that they hit to Hyatt for 58 yards, do you think that was a turning point in the game?
No, I don't. I mean, that was, obviously explosive for a long yardage, but there was a lot of plays throughout that, the second half that could turn it either way. If we make those and they don't, it might swing the game in your favor. So I don't think it's about any one play or any one player. It really never is. It's all of us collectively doing a better job.
How about the defensive line? You've been good the first game, rotating guys, not having Lecky, not having LJ. How did that affect your game planning and the ability just to keep guys fresh with the defensive line going through the game?
Yeah, we had 5 up, and with Carlos getting hurt kind of early there, we only had 4 then. So that rotation, the play counts got a little bit out of whack. When you go into a game with that group right there, you don't think that you're going to get a guy hurt that fast. But I thought, honestly, they battled in there and played well. The 4 of them that were still up, with Led and Stills and Banks, that was their first exposure playing. And Kevin Strong, I thought they did a good job. They battled. They played with good effort. But we like to keep those guys, the play counts a little bit down. They got a little bit out of whack because he got hurt, early in that game. So we'll evaluate that. But I thought they did a good job and hung in there pretty good.
Jonathan Gannon, our guest here on the Burns and Gambo show for his weekly visit, probably should have led the interview with this, but we wanted to talk to you about the game first. Budda Baker getting put on the IR today. I heard during your presser just a moment ago, you reiterated this is not a season-ending injury for Budda. Do you care to elaborate on that for us a little bit?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he's got a hamstring. He got hurt on Friday, and he wasn't well enough to play. And what the injury looks like is he's going to miss a little bit of time. But he was positive about it. Obviously, he wants to be out there with his teammates, but he'll be back soon.
Not a torn hamstring in the classic sense.
No.
Okay, nothing like that. Okay.
What about some of the other guys with Woods and Fotu and Collier out, and then Watkins? You mentioned Watkins having to leave the game with that injury in the first half. How do those guys look going forward?
Yeah, so we put LJ on IR. Woods, we'll evaluate that this week. He's got an ankle that he hurt in Washington, came back in and played, but wasn't healthy enough to play, so we'll evaluate that moving forward. Lecky wasn't good enough to go. He's got a little bit of a shoulder. We'll evaluate that this week coming up here. Everyone else should be good to go.
I like the way you used Dobbs, especially in the first half. I thought he was great. You had some big pass plays, 3 of them over 20 yards, a couple around 14, 15. So it looks like there was a concentrated effort to try to get the ball down the field a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought that they played well. He executed well. I thought Drew had some good shots up, good call-it shots there that we executed, got guys on the second and third level running away from leverage, and, the protection was good in front of him, and he stepped in there and made a couple throws there, and some guys made some big-time plays. So that typically is going to be part of a winning formula, is to generate explosives in the run and pass game. And I thought we took a big step forward from week 1 to week 2.
Coach, I really thought if you could have got a couple of first downs here or there in that second half, after you scored to go up 28-7, right? Some of those possessions, and I don't blame Dobbs for this. I mean, you had a false start penalty to put you in a 3rd and 14. It ended the game when the Giants fans were really loud. You had a couple of false start penalties that put you in a 3rd and 16. Those are tough spots to be in. But just tell me what you can learn from that situation, especially when the opposing team's got fans in the building and they make it loud and make it hard on your O-line.
Yeah, our guys are prepped to play in the environment that they're going to play in. So I think execution comes down to, and just like what you said with the offense, a couple plays here or there, that's with the defense, that's with special teams. So all 3 phases go into, winning the football game. And, we just got to do a little bit better all 3 phases there in the last 30 minutes. We got to put a complete game together, give ourselves a chance to win.
Jonathan Gannon, our guest here on the Burns and Gambo show. You can't replace Budda Baker, but you have to replace Budda Baker. How do you go about that now? How big of a loss is that for you?
Yeah, obviously, he's one of our premier players and a really good player for us, but it's not about one guy really, honestly. I thought Dre stepped in there and played well on short notice. He knew he was going to play on Friday afternoon there after Budda kind of came down with the hamstring. So, I think collectively we all got to do our job. Do our part and what it takes to win a football game. But, he'll be missed, but we feel good about the guys that we got going in.
All right, let me ask you about the play right before the 2-minute warning, that pass to Saquon. Went for 10 yards. It appeared the ball hit the ground. You guys didn't challenge. What was the communication between you and the booth, and why no challenge there?
Yeah, it was typically, the percentages say they don't overturn those, and honestly, I had a good look at it, from the field in real time, and then they replayed it up on the board. And at that point, I didn't want to waste that challenge right there to possibly lose a timeout. And honestly, I thought he caught it, so that's why I didn't throw it.
Did you go back and look at it to see if you changed your mind on that or no?
No, I think he caught it.
You still think he caught it? Okay, all right.
Yeah, definitely the tip was on the ground, but he had his hands around it. So if I'm, if you say that's what the rules of engagement of a catch, that was a catch.
Yeah, because I understand keeping the timeout, right? You're thinking you're going to get a stop here, and you want to keep you have the ball with 1:40, 1:30 left, and have all your timeouts available. That makes sense.
Yeah, you know what, and truthfully, the communication of the booth to me was extremely efficient and deliberate, and I felt good about it.
Coach, we appreciate the time as always. Good luck this week against the Cowboys. We'll talk to you a week from today, okay?
Thank you. All right, guys, have a good week.
You got it. Thanks, Coach.